Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. I want you guys to strap on your belts and get ready for this crazy solo queue ride that I'm about to take you on. This is going to be a very typical solo queue game. So let's start things off by looking at the scoreboard. You see that we're actually winning at the beginning. I'm 2-0, I'm about double the CS of the Malphite, if not almost triple, and overall it's not that bad except for our bot lane. But this one takes a very big and quick twist out of nowhere. And quite honestly, it was one of the most frustrating games I have played in a while, where everyone is just so negative, always wanting to forfeit, saying how we're gonna lose no matter what, we should just surrender right away, and just really being negative. Again, I wasn't the most positive summoner in this game, at least not as positive as I probably should have been, but I was trying my best the whole time. And destroying the Malphite in the mid lane, getting more than double his CS, I think he went something like 0-3-0 in the laning phase. For the enemy team in the Malphite to start winning and getting way ahead was definitely quite frustrating. So again, this one does begin on a pretty good note. I go in for the kill on the Malphite here and I actually get it, so we're up 8-6 after a couple of seconds. But taking a look at the chat, you see our bot lane is already raging at each other. They're not cooperating, they're simply just arguing all the time. And this is where the huge tilt begins from everyone, including myself, the Aurelia in the chat, saying it's over, we should forfeit, and I simply get caught off at mid lane. The Nasus and the Malphite come in and get a kill on me, and it goes from being potentially in our favor to just the complete opposite. So the moral of this game is going to be pretty much to try your best to not rage. Even if you do rage, you always still want to try your very best, don't forfeit, because any game is winnable as long as you keep your head in the game. I mean, you do have to understand there are going to be games where you just simply cannot win, but it is never over till it's actually over. So you see now the score is 9-12, I try making a play on the Graves, but his whole team is there. I still get the kill, but not looking so hot either way, and I end up dying. Jumping a few minutes into the same game, you see the chat is still going quite ham. I mean, everyone is kind of raging at each other, and it gets a lot worse. The Blitzcrank was actually kind of trolling us in the champion select, but he played quite well throughout this game, so I have to give credit for him for that. Especially considering that everyone, including myself at some times, were raging at him for a majority of this game. So people always ask me, like, what exactly do you do when you're behind? How do you win a game when everyone is raging at you when you win the laning phase, but your team is just not doing well and they're just always want to forfeit? And then you start going on tilt as well because your team is being very negative. As you see, I'm dying a lot more often than I probably should. And you gotta remember, I'm only human as well, so you can see in the chat, I'm like, this is the definition of solo queue, so clearly I'm being a little salty as well, but my team trying to forfeit, and I'm so far the only person that clicked no. And one other person on our team, I'm not sure who it was, I think it was a Blitzcrank, did not vote whatsoever, so thankfully we didn't forfeit. But trying to keep our head in the game, we actually got a kill on the Nami, so pretty decent pickoff as well, but the Nasus destroying the Aurelia 1 versus 1, always a bad sign. We ended up retaliating, getting a kill on him there as well, so at least it wasn't that bad. But jumping a bit further into the game, you see the score is 21-6, my team is still trying to surrender and I'm still the only one clicking no. People on our team are starting to blame the Blitz more and more and more, calling him a troll, even though really his score isn't that bad, and I end up saying that the Blitzcrank isn't even becoming the problem anymore. So as a Zed player, what I'm trying to do is to split push, because obviously team fighting isn't really an option since they are ahead, so I'm trying to make the best out of what I can. But as I get the second tower in the bottom lane, the Malphite comes right out of the darkness, destroys me with his ultimate, and I die. Again, not a very good thing, especially if I'm trying to carry this. So for the first 20 or so minutes of the game, I have to admit I was a little negative, but I ended up picking up my game. I ended up just focusing more and just not raging whatsoever, and just really trying to concentrate and seeing if there's any possibility of us winning this. Especially after seeing my team just constantly flame each other in the chat, I knew that maybe if I start flaming as well, that'll make things even worse, and that's exactly what we do not need. So trying to get your head into the game and focusing on what you can do to carry this is always what you want to try doing. But remember, there are going to be games where you just simply cannot carry. But again, it's not over till it's over. So the score now is 26-35. I mean, we're not absolutely incredibly behind, but considering that we're about 10 kills behind and our team is constantly raging at each other, it does kind of build up on top of everything else. So the team is still trying to forfeit over and over again. The Aurelia now raging at the Blitzcrank as well with the Lee Sin, and overall not looking so hot and really just getting worse and worse and worse. But some credit to the Blitzcrank is due, because even though he's getting raged at so much, he is not really raging back at anyone himself, so that's a good thing. So once again, you always want to try looking for any type of plays that you can get. So we luckily got a kill on the Malphite, and thankfully the Graves somehow whiffed his ultimate completely, so I ended up living too. And as I try to split push bottom lane again, you see that the enemy Nasus teleported in with home guards, and it's not looking good. The Lee Sin comes in to try and counteract this play, and I'm like thinking this is a really bad idea. I mean, they're way ahead of us and this is not gonna work. But thankfully, when he kicked the Nasus, he ended up hitting the Graves got knocked up, and I saw this opportunity, went in with my ultimate, and we turned it around and got a double kill. So here here's where the game slowly seems like it's going back into our favor. We got some kills and slowly are picking up the slack. The team doesn't seem to be as ragey at each other as they were just a few moments ago. I tell my team to do Baron as I try to split bottom, but I accidentally walk into the whole enemy team trying to do Dragon. But thankfully I'm able to make a pretty decent play, get the kill on Nami, and still make it out alive. And during this whole time my team is doing Baron, so it's a great call by them as well. Ended up pushing bottom once more. We get the Baron and so far it's looking quite good. I mean, things are really starting to pick up. Maybe we can stop raging at each other, finally group up and just put a finish to this game. But if that was the case, obviously I wouldn't be making this video because that wouldn't be so miraculous or so incredible. No, this game is a lot more difficult than that. But in the meantime, we're still working off of our success. The Lee Sin gets a nice steal on the Dragon. We end up getting a lot of kills right here and ends up turning into an ace. And the number one thing we should be doing here is not raging at each other and just trying to push this in and get the lead going. And that's exactly what we do. I tell them to push middle while we push bottom. We get 2 inhibitors off of that and make it out alive. And we're still trying to work off of our success, right? We're still wanting to push in the top lane, get the inhibitor down, and hopefully close out this game. And this is where it goes downhill once again. We go a little too deep, the Blitzcrank gets caught out, and really this fight just goes absolutely horribly. I tried going for the kill on the Graves, but he does have Q assess, so not only can I not kill him, but my team is slowly dying off and I had to make an escape. And we definitely threw the lead right there and gave the enemy team a chance to catch up. But on top of that, my team is starting to surrender again. In the chat, they're saying please forfeit, and again, we're just going right back into the tilt. And it only gets worse. I mean, I joined the Aurelia in the jungle thinking I can make some kind of play with her, but obviously not. We end up dying as well, and again, more and more tilt. The enemy team tried to start the Baron, and we're trying to do whatever we can. I mean, we have to put some sort of stop to it because if they get it, they can probably push down mid and win the game. I mean, it is over 40 minutes, so the death timers are quite long. Not only did we not stop the Baron, we also gave him a few kills, and we also gave him our mid inhibitor and even one Nexus tower. I try my best to find any form of play I can, so I go on the Graves, but with the QSS and the assistance from Nami, unable to get the kill, and the pressure really is starting to build up. As I respawn though, the enemy team tried pushing in the bottom lane, but they seem to overextend. I finally make my way to the battlefield, pick up the quick kill on the Nami, ult the Zac. Unfortunately, he has a Zhonya's, did not expect that. But regardless, the team fight ends up working out in our favor. We pick up a few of the kills, and the Nasus apparently running AP Nasus with the Zhonya's as well. Not looking so hot, but still quite strong. And even though we just got a few kills, which is a really good thing, the Aurelia is still saying that we should surrender because they're about to get the 5th dragon. Very, very negative attitude that's not helping anyone. In this fight, I ended up dodging Malphite ultimate with my W, which I truly think is the reason we won this fight, because that extra damage from that ultimate right here you saw would have definitely been my demise. But after such a back and forth game being so difficult, I ended up putting my head into the game, focusing, telling my team what we should do, saying we should Baron, saying I'll split bottom and they should do it, maybe just do middle and bottom as we push it in, and just really trying my best to not rage and keep it intact. Just making sure we don't forfeit, telling them that we can win this game, and look at that. After one of the most difficult games I've had in a long time, we ended up picking up the game, getting the win for ourselves in a much deserved fashion. So I hope this has inspired some of you guys. I mean, the game is not over till it's over. There's always a chance to win. People can always throw. You can always pick up the slack and win it. So I really want to get this commentary out for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please throw in a like and check out my other videos as well. But thanks for watching and hope to see you for the next one. Peace.